All right, there we go. We are live. Hi, everybody. So before we kick off today's meeting, I just wanted to introduce you to a few members of the Molo9 team that are here with us right now. So we have Maria. She is responsible for business development. She's the director of business development over at Molo9. If you have any questions about anything to do with business development endeavors at Molo9, you can feel free to reach out to her via email. She will drop her email into the comments in the YouTube, on the YouTube video, and I will also put it into the show notes. And then we also have with us Annalise. She is the manager for strategic partnerships. So she handles all of our influencers that join and share photos of themselves using their Molo9 accounts with their own businesses and profiles and whatnot. So thank you guys both for hopping in. Annalise will also share her email in the comments and in the show notes. And now I'm going to let them jump back to what they do best and start with today's presentation. Thank you, ladies, for joining. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. So, for those of you who are new to the live Q&As, I'm just going to go over a few quick things. One, this live Q&A is recorded. It will live in Molo9's repository. It will also live on this YouTube channel. So this does mean that if you are not a rapid growth company, when you ask questions, just keep them high level. You may not want to dive too deep into the details of your own company, lest a competitor hear this conversation and rip your ideas and strategies and tactics before you can implement them yourself. If you want to dive deep into your details so that I can give you more custom tailored advice, we do have one-on-one and private group coaching sessions that are both available on Molo9's site. If you don't know where to find those, just click the blue help button, any page on the website, and someone from the customer support team will be able to direct you to that page. Along these same lines, today I will probably use some examples that I've witnessed throughout my own career, and I can only either share the details of the company or I can name the company. I cannot do both, as that would be a breach of contract with the MD9 clients. And then for those of you who do not know me, I am going to do a quick intro just so you know the types of questions I'm best equipped to answer. In earlier live Q&As, we had questions around legal advice. I am not a lawyer, despite the fact that many of my Jewish family members wish I did go on to become either a lawyer or a doctor. According to them, I'm a failure. Anyways, if you have questions that I'm not equipped to answer, you can just drop them into our Facebook group. There are a lot of brilliant agency owners that are in that Facebook group that are using Molo9 with their own client projects. And chances are that if I don't know the answer to your question, one of them will. All right, so quick intro. If you do not know who I am, I have spent more than a decade in doing something called growth hacking. Growth hacking is a bit different from traditional marketing in that we look at the whole funnel, not just leads or SEO or website conversions. We also look at the product and think of ways that there could be product diversification, strategic partnerships, and other options to just get more wallet share, get people buying more from you and your individual company. This does mean that I play around with more than 100 different customer acquisition channels, and I'm not committed to any one channel. If you used Molo9, you might notice that there aren't a lot of like, you should do this on Facebook now. They're more like, these are the communication strategies that you should use because you can use those across any channel. My favorite type of growth hacking is something called blitz scaling, which means that we grow companies really fast. This is crucial in very competitive industries and markets. An example is one of the companies I worked with, they had not seen a new entrant into that local marketplace in 2 decades because the competition was so fierce. Every time a new entrant tried to come in, they were quickly squashed by the competition. And so with that company, we actually we did a blitzscaling strategy, and we grew them to be #1 in the county. So they not only surpassed their local competitors, but the competitors in that entire county within just a few years. And as of now, the fastest I've grown a company is from idea on paper to more than 108 million in sales in less than 5 years. I do own 5 companies and brands myself. They're all geared towards helping startup founders with everything from mindset to a media company that we have as well. We also have MD9 Consulting, and then Molo9, which is the one that we are all meeting about today. So now that we have all of that intro covered, let's dive into today's topic. Today's topic is a little bit more advanced. Some of the live Q&As that we've done over the past few weeks have been for more beginner marketers. This one's geared, it's a little bit more technically challenging at some points. So do not hesitate to ask questions, to bring your questions over to the Facebook group or the Telegram group as I go through this, just so we can make sure that we get everyone's questions answered as I go through. So the questions that were submitted prior to the recording, I'm going to start with those, and then we will open it up to everyone that's tuning in right now. So first one was around what I think the best growth hack is. There are actually 2, and the first one I think is something called Guerrilla Marketing. It basically is a fancy title for a publicity stunt. And I think that these ones, they do really well. They're expensive to do, but when done right, they do very well because they lead to a lot of social shares. They lead to a lot of free press coverage. Usually what you're paying for is you're paying for the stunt to be done. And then what you get for free as a result of that, if the stunt is done well and timed well and placed well, is you get a lot of free publicity and free social media chatter, which are both things that are great in terms of getting you exposure to new customers and also getting you really amazing boosts in your search engine rankings. An example of guerrilla marketing is right here. I'll drop this link in. It's a pair of shorts. Where's the comments box? I do not have a comments box. That's not good. There we go. Okay. So this is the, for those of you who cannot see that, there, let's see if this brings it up. Yes, it does. Okay. Here we go. So that's Molo9's coverage of it. This is the original PR story. And basically it's a pair of shorts and you see that on the underside of the tag from the pair of shorts, it says, "Vote the assholes out." And this was done by Patagonia just this past fall. So you'll see that there are little stunts like that that are done to get, they get you free press coverage. They're technically considered a growth hack. They're one of the best growth hacks, usually the most expensive, usually the hardest to carry out right if you're brand new to marketing. So the next one is slightly easier for those who are new to marketing. And it revolves around social media algorithms. Now, you may have heard of using tricks like referral points to get social media follows. I'll drop in the link for that here as well. This, if you don't know, if you haven't done that yet, this is how you can use referral points to your own loyalty program to get social media follows. There is a strategy using a temporarily high paying affiliate program to get an increase not only in product reviews, but also in social media postings as well. And then there's this one, which we recently used at Molo9, which is where you create invite-only events to collect happy reviews. Then there are a few more that are listed over here. These are all like, they're marketing tricks. They're not necessarily like growth hacks that get you that hockey stick growth. That's why I'm just speeding through them really quick. Like, you can look at those later. But right now we're going to dive into the meat of growth hacks, like hockey stick growth. But okay, so what I like to do is I look at the age of a platform to determine when it is the best time to jump in. So for example, with Facebook and Instagram, those algorithms, they're businesses. They want you to spend money on advertising on their platforms to get views. So the only time you're going to get a lot of organic views there is if you're if you're the earliest to adopt one of their new features. An example of this is Instagram Reels. They just released Instagram Reels recently, so you'll notice that anybody who's posting with Instagram Reels versus posting to their stories is getting they're getting a lot of free exposure. Because in the beginning, when a social media platform, when it first launches or when it first launches a new feature, a lot of people want to sit on the sidelines. They don't want to jump in and create the first pieces of content. So whoever creates those first pieces of content gets a lot of exposure because that platform is trying to say, hey, we're relevant. Look at what we have going on, what that you're getting to see right now. You want to keep coming to our platform to keep seeing more content. So in the beginning, you're the one that's helping them to feed the content monster. But as the platform ages or as the feature becomes more popular, you'll notice that your posts are not getting as many views. Your stories, your reels are not getting as many views or not getting as much reach, organic reach, because the market's becoming saturated with content. So the biggest thing, a lot of people think, oh, I need to be on Facebook, or I need to be on Instagram, or I need to be on TikTok. You want to look at how saturated they are with content. And keep an ear to the ground. If you're committed to a specific channel and they roll out a new feature, be the first one to use that feature. Because if that's where your people are and that's where your buyers are, and you're the first one to use the new features, then you're going to get more free organic views. Okay, so with that, I have worked, I think it's like 8 or 9 different social media companies now, where they were social platforms, and we went from idea on paper to launching them into actual companies. This is the process. It's a 5-stage process, and this kind of dives into why you want to look at the age of a company to decide when you're going to jump in. And it also tells you at which age you want to jump in if you're not one of the first people invited to be on that platform. Okay. All right, so let's stop talking in theory and talk in reality. When a platform grows, or when a social media platform develops, what's the first problem they have? Think about if you've ever gone to a club or some sort of party with friends and you're the first people there. It's awkward, right? So we call that empty disco syndrome, because a club, a party, a social media platform, a community, it can't get participants without already having participants. The way that social media platforms address this, is by creating lots of free accounts. Lots of fake accounts. And then what they do with the fake accounts is they'll contact someone like me or another growth hacker who has a growth hacking coven and say, hey, we're launching a new platform. We will give you 20,000 fake followers to engage with whatever content you want to post on there. Are you going to join our platform? Yes, that's literally how it happens. So now I join this new platform, which is like the next Twitter. I have 20,000 followers. I immediately look like I'm sharing great content, right? The next stage from there is that once they have a lot of like these types of people that are used to that game, that are familiar with that game, up and posting content on their platform, then they start to invite real users onto the platform. Now, because they gave their first group of users a bunch of fake followers, they have to claim that these people are thought leaders and say, hey, if you want to hear the latest and greatest that this person is talking about, you have to come to our platform. And they actually take those people that they handpick to be their first real users, and they make them the influencers and the faces of the platform. So you have to be very selective with the early people that you pick for stage one of growing a social media platform. Next, they bring real users on, and there's an algorithm that's used where basically you join the platform, and if you're a first-time user, they don't only encourage you to follow other people, they also have you followed. So you'll notice that like over the next couple of days, you get people following and liking your stuff that you've never met before. And that's what they're doing, is they're using fake accounts to make you feel loved and accepted on that platform. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, then the next stage from there is they start to get traction. Because you come to this platform, you're getting more likes on this platform than you are on Instagram or Facebook. You start posting more and more to this new platform because you're feeling appreciated on this new platform. It's normal. They're literally playing with consumer psychology here. And then what they do is this platform starts to pick up traction. Once it gets more and more traction, it gets more people coming on, then they start to take away the bot accounts. Actually, first they make it easy for those who were not invited to the growth hacking party in the beginning, the fake influencers who are now looking like real influencers. They make it easy for you to scrape profiles. They make it easy for you to go in, drop a script in, and follow 400 people at a time, to like 400 posts at a time, to do all of those sorts of things, to like and unlike, follow, unfollow. They make it very easy for growth hackers like me to go in and do that very quickly. Have a script that's running on the side to just like and follow and engage and whatnot to get other people following me back. Then after a while, there's complaints from the real users because these bot accounts are liking them and following and unfollowing, and all this bot behavior is happening. And that's when you see a purge. And an example of this is Twitter. I think it was in 2016 or 2017. Twitter suddenly had like all of these celebrities went from having like thousands of followers to having 5,000 followers less. Like Katy Perry and Donald Trump were the two that were noted in the news source that I saw. And basically what Twitter did is they scrubbed their account of all of their own fake created accounts, as well as accounts that were created that were fake, that were created by others who just wanted to make their own fake followings. And then that's kind of where you see more social media, like older social media platforms. And that's where it gets harder to get the likes, to get the engagement with your posts. So when someone sits there and they say, oh, all you need to do to get a good following is to create great content. I can tell you that I personally know a lot of people who claim that's their strategy. And I personally have been there working with them when they had 20,000 fake followers handed to them. So that's really what they're doing behind the scenes while they're telling you that they're just creating great content. Okay, so now that you know behind the scenes what's going on with this whole crazy hacker world, how can you get in on it? All right, so each platform has a life stage. When they're at certain life stages, you can still jump in on this. And that's what I look for when I'm looking at which platforms to join. Is what life stage are they at? Do I actually have to put in a crazy amount of work to get 2 likes? Or can I put in a little bit of work and get a few hundred likes and a few thousand views? That's how I make my decisions about which platforms I'll be on. So if you go to Molo9's Instagram account, for example, you'll notice I put up an Instagram collage and left it. And I said, we're not active here. Like, that's it. Because Instagram is pay to play. Our Facebook group, that just is the easiest place for people to connect now, but we don't have a Facebook page. Because it's, again, pay to play. It's a very high maintenance algorithm. Think of like that needy ex-girlfriend who just nagged you all the time and like wasn't very nice to be around. That's literally how Instagram and Facebook are right now for their social media algorithms. But if you look at LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a great algorithm right now. It I think roughly a quarter, 25% of the traffic that is coming to Molo9's site is coming from LinkedIn. The other 25%, ironically, is coming from YouTube, which has an older algorithm, and I didn't really give much attention to it until some of the younger team members at Molo9 were like, oh, we have to because it does the auto captions. Anyways, so LinkedIn, I think, is the easiest one right now. 25% of our traffic is coming from there. There is an automation that you can use that you do not have to know how to code to be able to use it. And I am going to drop it in now. This app will do something for you called an automated pod. Now, for a while, when Instagram was blowing up, you may have heard of engagement pods. These were a huge thing on Instagram. Instagram caught on to what people were doing, and they changed their algorithm so you can't really use them to get the same amount of efficacy that you used to be able to. But you can use them on LinkedIn. All right, so why does LinkedIn let us use automated pods while Facebook and Instagram do not? LinkedIn is still a relatively young startup or social media platform. They're still trying to gain traction. They're still trying to get people addicted to using LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is making changes to follow in the footsteps of Facebook and Instagram, where it's becoming more difficult for your posts to get a lot of exposure. Because of that, this is like the #1 growth hack that I would look at right now is LinkedIn, because it's about to hit like that age, that witching hour, where its algorithm is no longer easy to manipulate, and it does become harder and heavier to push your content and get the organic views for free. Okay, let's see. Now, okay. Of the easiest platforms to grow on, there's LinkedIn, but there's also Clubhouse. I do not use TikTok or Snapchat simply because I've never had to use them for a client. I've never had to use them for myself. My target market is not on there. And I've never had to, the target markets of my clients have never been on there either. Keep in mind that there are 120 different customer acquisition channels out there, actually more than 120. So these social media platforms that we're mentioning right now, these are just a few of them. There's, with TikTok and Snapchat, if you use them and you have some tricks that you want to share in the Facebook group, by all means, share your post or article or blog in there. The one that I'm keeping an eye on right now actually is Clubhouse. I have seen a few of the growth hackers that I follow on social posting about how they're already making waves on Clubhouse, and they're able to get a lot of traction with a little bit of work, which it's 80-20. That's all you're looking for is 80-20. So once I do have some more news on what you can do with Clubhouse, I'll share that on the Molo9 portal. For right now, what I can say is that the way Clubhouse is set up for their onboarding, if you have not signed up yet, I would sign up simply because when people sign up who are your contacts, it'll recommend that they follow you. So it is a very easy way for you. Sorry, let me just close this out. Okay, so it is with Clubhouse, like the way they have it set up right now, it's a very easy way for you to just collect followers until you know which types of content you want to post, even if whether or not you do want to post content on there. So anyways, okay, growth hacks when it comes to advertising on social. These, in my experience, these are very specific depending on what your business is, because it'll, depending on a few of your company parameters, the types of ads that I would use would be very different. At a high level, here are a few basics to get you started. If there are any other agency owners that are tuned in right now and you have your own blog post with something similar, please feel free to share it in the Facebook group. The goal here is for everyone to learn. And if you have something to help the Molo9 community, learn some of your tips and tricks, by all means. Um, oh, the last growth hack. This one's timeless. Not necessarily a growth hack, although it's classified as a growth hack because it often does lead to viral growth. It's word of mouth marketing. So basically, what you want to do is think of a way that you can incentivize others who do not work at your company to share your company with their friends and family. Because when you have like an internal sales team, as soon as somebody says, "Oh, I'm part of the sales team for XYZ," anything they say about that company is going to be viewed through jaded lenses. Whereas when I promote like a certain book or a certain tool and I say, hey, this is something that I use and it's amazing, like if you want to try it, you're more than welcome to, people look at that a little bit differently because I don't work at that company and I probably have tested 5 or 6 or 7 tools. An example that might apply to you, I have a friend, he tests nootropics, which are like smart drugs. They're different supplements that help you to focus and get more out of your brain and physical exercises and whatnot. And there are always ads. I'm always seeing ads for nootropics. Never click on those. What I do is when I want to try a new nootropic, I'll just message my buddy Lewis and say, hey, so what are you using now for this and this and this? And where do you recommend I buy it? And he, like, at this point, he just sends me the link. That's word of mouth marketing. The easiest way for you to achieve and get your customers to be your brand ambassadors is to pay them. The cheapest way to pay them is with referral points or loyalty points. And the second cheapest way, if you notice that that's not taking off, then it's probably not a good program for your particular demographic, or target market. The second cheapest way is to give them credits. So you give them credits on their next billing statement or credits on to buy more product from you. And then the third option is affiliate marketing, where you flat out just pay them to promote your product or service. So with this, the easiest way to get started is with a high-paying affiliate program. All right. So when you have a huge company, when you have a large corporation, 10% of gross revenue goes into all of your marketing costs. This includes salaries of your marketing department. This includes all of the tools for the marketing department. This includes, the budget for the paid ads for your marketing department. All of your marketing costs go into 10% of your gross revenue. When you are a rapid growing company, like you want to be growing, you want hockey stick-like growth, it's 30% of your gross revenue goes into growing your company. Startups that come to work with MD9, their MD9 clients, we negotiate in the beginning that 30% of their gross revenue is given back to marketing so that we can grow them quickly. So when you are just starting out, you're an early stage startup, and you're just getting the ball rolling, chances are that you probably spend a few days a week working on your actual product and a few days a week working on marketing. At this stage, taking that 30%, the entire 30%, and giving it to your affiliates will not really hurt you or cause you to have to sacrifice anything else. If you are running paid ads and you're already seeing an ROI, a return on your investment there, then obviously you don't want to be diving too much into your revenue in order to give 30% to affiliates. This is more before you do paid ads, before you do anything else. If you want to start with a high-paying affiliate program, that is not a bad time to do it. There are very specific influencers. Have you ever read, there's these ad blocks where someone will say, oh, I make 6 figures traveling the world with my laptop. They're usually joining, the way they're doing that is they're joining high-paying affiliate programs. So what you do is you make 30% of your, you pay them 30% commission. You make 30% of your retail value, your retail price, the commission that they earn when they sell your product or service. And by doing this, you'll see that like some pretty heavyweight influencers will turn around and write reviews around your product. For example, we have with Molo9, if somebody buys the basic account, the commission that they get is $90. If somebody buys the pro account, the commission that's paid to affiliates is $900. When I communicated this to a friend who has a community of more than 100,000 people, he immediately responded with, well, send me the article so I can do a write-up on you. Because people that run communities like that, this is the way that they're going to view your startup and your high-paying affiliate program is just an easy paycheck for them. That's it. It's very easy. And if it's a good product or service, all they have to do is give a review of the things that they like about it. If it's not a good product or service, they're probably going to give you some feedback before they join. But that's it, I think. Sorry, tried to cover a lot in a little bit of time. That's it for all the growth hacks that I use that I think could apply to the widest number of people. We are going to transition to questions for the audience. But before I do, could you please just smash that thumbs up button if you're enjoying this, because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm. And then when you're ready, just drop your questions into the comment section and they will magically pop up on my computer. This broadcast is slightly lagged because it has to give YouTube, we have deaf people that are part of the Molo9 community, and so it's lagged because it has to give YouTube time to transcribe it before it broadcasts on your end. So if I stare at the screen before answering your question, it's because it takes a few seconds for the questions to come in. But, yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So what questions do we have? Aside from why is Addie so sleep deprived? No questions? We can all go home then? There we go. Yes. But, okay, so the question is, would you recommend implementing a high-paying affiliate program for pre-revenue startups trying to gain traction? Yes. If you are pre-revenue, though, I would recommend going through the blitzscaling playbook. Actually, I have to relabel that. It's the pre-launch playbook. Because there are a few other ways that you can grow your company before launching the affiliate program. Where are we? There we go. Different types of launches. So after you get your first 3 customers, this is for pre-launch, pre-revenue, you should have 3 customers that you work with directly in more of a consulting capacity to have them work. This is if you have software, to work with your software. That should get you your first taste of revenue into the company. And those people should be your first case studies, your first testimonials on your site. After you have that, then I would add those testimonials and case studies to your website because those are trust builders. And then from there, you can add the affiliate program, like just a sign-up form, to the footer of your website. Then the next thing you want to do is actually do your public launch. There are over 100 different places. There's a list of 100 different places that you can share your launch once you do your public launch. I would drop the affiliate sign up page though into your footer before you do the public launch, because like I said, you do have those two types of people. You have people that are coming to actually look at using your startup services, and then you have the people that they know that you're a startup, and startups tend to pay they tend to pay affiliates higher. So they're going to join your affiliate, they're coming to your website to look at what your affiliate program offers. Yeah, any other questions? Oh, we do have, wanted to share this really quick before I forget. Molo9 now we have 2 entrepreneurship awards that you can enter to win. We have the Molo9 Innovation Award and the Molo9 Entrepreneurial Excellence Award. And we give these out once per quarter to 2 founders. They allow you, the winners of these 2 awards, they get 4 weeks of access to Molo9, and they get a one-to-one session with me. That's a 45-minute long session. If you want to nominate someone for one of these awards, or if you want to apply yourself, I just dropped the link into the comments so that you can read more about that. All right, any other questions? I know today was a bit of a doozy. It was a little bit heavy. It's usually easier to do that one as a group coaching session rather than a live Q&A. All right, we have no more questions, and I think, oh, here we go. What growth hack does the awards fall under? That wouldn't be a growth hack. It would be a silver bullet called the authority effect. The authority effect, it's basically one of the underlying psychological influencers that you can use to establish credibility with someone, quickly build trust so that they feel comfortable buying from you. So there are a lot of different opportunities to go for awards within the marketing space, within the entrepreneurial space. And now we offer awards too. Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay. We do have, I see in the comments, we have Marcial here. So you met Annalise and Maria both introduced themselves at the beginning of this. Marcial is the head of customer success. So if you ever click the blue help button on our website, you will be talking to him. If he is busy, then you will be talking to somebody else on the team, but usually it's him who's answering, and he can drop his email in here so that you guys have it. If you ever need to contact him and you can't get to him through the blue button, you can always email him. And after that, I think we're going to hop off. Okay. I'll drop it. All right, there is Marcial's email. Now I think if there are no other questions, we're gonna hop off, call it a day. Oh, there we go. See, that's what happens, it lags by quite a few seconds. Okay, if there are no other questions, I'm going to hop off, let you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday, and I will talk to you later. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, take care, guys. Bye.